Open-world games are often massive undertakings that demand hundreds of hours from players, and most people don't have time for such a tremendous commitment. This genre is hugely popular, and many open-world titles offer exciting, epic adventures that are worth the time invested. That said, some games are huge time sinks, and not everyone has time for a campaign that's 60 hours or longer. Tight-knit open-world games can still provide the mystery and excitement of a vast, expansive world without actually being all that big. Some of the best open-world games give players reasons to explore and don't just feel like a checkpoint of places to go. Games with a unique art style or interesting story are able to keep players hooked until the very end. For those with limited time, it's essential to find an open-world game that can be played, enjoyed, and moved on from quickly, and these 10 games are just that.
Set in the not-so-distant but futuristic year of 2027, Sunset Overdrive is a third-person action-adventure game where players traverse a dystopian metropolis called Sunset City. After Fizco hosts a massive pre-release party for their new energy drink, people who drank too much of it begin to mutate into overcharged drinkers. The city is quarantined, and Fizco is trying to cover up the outbreak. It's up to the player and a handful of Fizco employees to escape the city and expose the truth. Sunset Overdrive tells a straightforward story that can be completed in roughly 10 hours. That said, the fast-paced, chaotic gameplay and vibrant, colorful open worlds are the real draw. Combat focuses on speed, and players have access to wall running, zip lining, and grind rails to help defeat enemies and parkour across the map. Sunset Overdrive does feature a fast travel system, but traversal is so much fun that it's almost pointless.
Often overshadowed by its older brother, Black Flag is an underrated open-world adventure that puts a spin on the typical formula and tells a unique story. Set during the French and Indian War, the story follows Shehi Patrick Cormac, an assassin turned Templar who is tasked with taking down members of his former brotherhood. When it was released, Rogue was criticized for its short length, but now it's seen as a great game for fans of the series who don't have much free time, or anyone looking for a good entry point. Assassin's Creed Rogue didn't do anything to drastically innovate the series, and the gameplay was very similar to Black Flag, but that's not a bad thing at all. It's not on the level of the newer RPG-style Assassin's Creed games, but it does feature a smaller, semi-open world that's fun to explore. Rogue is often forgotten because of the overwhelming number of kings in the series, but it's a worthwhile experience that can be completed rather quickly.
The 2018 remake of Shadow of the Colossus was rebuilt from the ground up visually, but the gameplay and story remained nearly identical to the original. Players assume the role of Wander, a young boy tasked with killing 16 colossi in the hopes of resurrecting a girl named Motto. At first glance, the game appears to be an action-adventure title, but it's really a puzzle game set in a large open world. Players must determine each Colossus's weak points and find a strategy to reach them. Shadow of the Colossus takes the open-world genre and flips it on its head. It doesn't require players to spend endless hours exploring the map to understand the story or lore. While it may be fun to explore for a bit, the real star of the show isn't the open world, it's the Colossi. Shadow of the Colossus only takes around 7 hours to beat, and while it has a devastating ending, it's a game everyone should finish at least once.
The open world of Ghostwire Tokyo blends astonishing realism with nightmarish terrors straight out of Japanese folklore to create something remarkably nerve-wracking. After a fatal motorcycle crash, Akito becomes possessed by a spirit and is granted supernatural powers. The citizens of Tokyo have all mysteriously disappeared and been replaced with horrifying specters and spirits, and it's up to Akito to stop the people responsible. Ghostwire Tokyo features a meticulous and stunning recreation of Tokyo that can almost feel too realistic, even with supernatural beings lurking around every corner. The world is filled with collectibles and side activities which can feel repetitive at times, but are enjoyable to explore for a little while. Seeing the world and completing the main story doesn't take long, and with the easy-to-master combat, Ghostwire Tokyo can be beaten in around 12 hours.
Survival horror games are typically made up of smaller, tense environments and don't usually take place in an open world. However, The Forest uses its open world to its advantage. The island on which the game takes place is largely composed of a dense forest that's difficult to navigate, and cave systems that are easy to get lost in. After his plane crashes, Eric LeBlanc must search for his son while surviving the elements and fighting off the island's inhabitants. The Forest has no set missions or quests, and players are encouraged to uncover the story for themselves, making it perfect for gamers who don't have a lot of time to play. It taps into the fear of being stranded on a deserted island in the middle of the ocean, with zero hope of rescue and an ever-present monstrous threat. Players must survive the horrifying island by creating shelters, crafting weapons, and exploring for resources. Whether players explore the game for hours or just enjoy it for a little while, it's a great horror game with an even better sequel.
Grand Theft Auto clones are almost always a failure, but Sleeping Dogs is the exception that proves the rule. This underrated open-world action-adventure title takes everything players love about the Grand Theft Auto series and puts its own unique spin on it. It follows Wei Shen, a police officer in Hong Kong who goes undercover to infiltrate the Sun On Yee criminal organization. Sleeping Dogs is a game with tons of fun side content, but players without much time can stick to the main story and still have a great time. Being a sandbox game, players have a good amount of freedom. Sleeping Dogs lets players do everything from working a shift at the docks and visiting karaoke bars to participating in street races and attending fight clubs. It's a game that's easy to hop in and out of without feeling like anything's being missed.
Spider-Man Miles Morales takes everything that was great about the first game and shrinks it down to a neat, manageable package. Miles has just gotten the hang of his newfound powers and is learning to balance his duties as a hero with his day-to-day life when an old friend makes a sudden appearance. A war has broken out between a high-tech criminal organization known as the Underground and the corrupt Roxxon Energy Corporation, and with Peter on vacation, Miles is the only Spider-Man around to protect Harlem. Even though both Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 were designed to bring the city to life in the form of a sprawling, exciting open world, Spider-Man Miles Morales is a standalone experience that delivers just that in a smaller scope. Miles has his own way of swinging, fighting, and solving problems, and it works so well. The gameplay doesn't feel any different from the mainline games, but it has a unique style that fits the character perfectly. Spider-Man Miles Morales is a game made for fans who want the full Spider-Man experience without needing 40+ hours to enjoy the mainline entries.
The second entry in the Arkham series, Batman Arkham City, is an open-world action-adventure game that sees players once again take on the role of the Caped Crusader. Arkham City is a maximum security prison for the worst criminals Gotham City has to offer, and Bruce Wayne. Donning his infamous cowl, he works to uncover the secrets of Arkham City's warden, Hugo Strange. Even though the map in Arkham City is 5 times larger than that of its predecessor, it's still a fraction of what modern open worlds can be, making it a breeze to get through. While it's often looked at as the middle child of the series, it still improved upon everything from Arkham Asylum and paved the way for Arkham Knight. And as an engaging open world built for players to explore with hidden secrets for Batman fans scattered across the map. Both the combat and story have been fleshed out and improved, and gliding across the city has never felt better.